All right, hello class. This is Algebra 1, Chapter 313. We're talking about turning words into percent equations. So let's say we have a question that says, what number is 35% of 300? Or, more realistically, what number is 35% of $300? Usually we're going to be talking about discounts. So here's how we're going to do it. We first start off by writing down what we know. So what do we know? We're looking for what number is 35% of 300. Well, first, we know that the total number is 300. So I can write down 300. We know that we're looking for a percent of 35%. 35% is the same thing as saying 35 out of 100 things, right? That's what it literally means, 35 out of 100, or 35 cents. So we can rewrite any percentage as cents, right? 0.35 is the same thing as 35 cents, which is 35 out of 100 parts, or 0.35. We can also understand that the word of in math always means multiplication. Finally, we also understand that the word is the same thing as saying equals. So we can write an equal sign. So far I have 0.35 of 300 is equal to something. Now, we don't know what that something is yet, obviously, because we're trying to solve for it. That means, in normal algebra fashion, I could change that into the letter x or y or any missing variable. For today, we're going to use n. So we're looking for the number n, right? N is 0.35 of 300, or n equals 0.35 times 300. Now, to solve for n, all you simply do is use your calculator to do 0.35 times 300. And if we go to our calculator app, we will see that 0.35, or 35 cents, of the total 300 is 105. So, for our purposes today, 0.35 times 300 was 105. 105 is our missing number n. So in reality, what number is 35% of 300? Well, it's 105. Let's prove it. 105 is 0.35 of 300. 0.35 of 300 is, in fact, 105. And if you wanted to test that using your normal fractions, you could do this. Instead of 35% being 0.35, you could also say 35 out of 100, right? Because it's 35 cents. And so we have 300 over 1. What does that equal? I could divide by 100 by cross multiplying. 100 divided by 100 is 1. 300 divided by 100 is 3, right? 35 times 3. Let's see what that equals. Because it's really 35 over 1 times 3 over 1. Multiply across. 35 times 3 is 35 3 times. 3 times 5 is 15. 3 times 3 is 9. 9 plus 1 is 10. 105 over 1, which is the same thing as saying 105. 105 equals 105, and that is how you solve percent problems from sentences. Now we could try another one here, just to be safe. If I asked you rather, what number is 55% of 80? How could I set this up? Well, very quickly. I know the total is 80. I know of is multiplication. I know 55% can be rewritten as 0.55 in the same way as 55 cents of 100, or out of 80. But for our purposes, it's 0.55. I know is the same thing as saying equals. and I know I'm looking for a missing number r. So again, simple. 0.55 times 80, or 0.55 of 80, is 44. So this comes out to be 44 is the missing number r. And so we test that. 44, is that really 0.55 of 80? I can excuse me. I can turn this into a fraction, 55 out of 100 times 80 over 1. What does that equal? We can cross divide or cross multiply, depending on how you think of it. And I'm going to do it by 20. So 100 divided by 20 is 5. 80 divided by 20 is 4, I believe. Yep. So now I can say, if I go across, I can say 55 times 4, using my calculator, is 220. 220 over 5. Does this still equal 44? Let's see. 220 divided by 5 equals 44. It checks out. 44 is 55% of 80.